Femke Cornelissen.
Yes.
You are the chief Copilot at Wortell, the company that you work at. You're also founder of the Dutch Women in Tech Network and the Rockstars in AI Network. You're on a plane a lot, flying out, speaking at events.
It gives me so many energy to do all this kind of things. Yeah, a lot of people don't see that I'm most of the time flying in the morning, flying out in the evening, because the next day there is football.
Yeah.
Something like that, soccer,
Yeah.
I need to be there.
One of the things you said recently in a podcast was that the keyboard might disappear soon. And I mean, it's not a huge thing, but I thought to myself, no, the keyboard. What's happening to the keyboard? Don't touch my keyboard.
Yeah, I think it's going to disappear once because...
What was it that Tradion, this owner of Tradion, saw? What do you think he saw in you that he decided to take a gamble on you?
Yeah, I think, that
Hi, my name is Diederik Erbe, and in the Midlife Crisis Podcast, we speak to all types of individuals to get to know them better, to learn things about their career, their lives, and the choices that they have made so that we can inspire you to live your best life. Hope you enjoy this episode. Femke Cornelissen.
Yes.
Welcome to this episode of the Midlife Crisis Podcast.
Thank you.
By way of introduction, you are the chief Copilot at Wortell, the company that you work at. In your LinkedIn bio, it also says you are Microsoft MVP. We might need to hear a bit more about that to understand what that is. But you're also founder of the Dutch Women in Tech Network and the Rockstars in AI Network.
Yes.
So both. So a busy, very busy lady.
A long headline.
A long headline, but I guess a lot of interesting stuff. So very curious to dive into that. But welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I wanted to confront you with, to kick us off with a few things that you've said recently.
Okay.
That might be interesting straight away to our listeners. And then we'll kind of dive into your background and your role at the moment. But one of the things you said recently in a podcast was that the keyboard might disappear soon. And I mean, it's not a huge thing, but I thought to myself, no, the keyboard. What's happening to the keyboard? Don't touch my keyboard.
Yeah, I think it's going to disappear once because, we mostly of the time we talking more with AI.
Yeah.
So that's probably as well that in the future we don't need a keyboard anymore. So going in your car, have your phone, using AI, asking some questions, but as well when you're in the office, you don't actually always use the keyboard anymore. So probably it's the next thing, in 10 years, we don't even use it anymore.
No, but it feels like a monumental shift, right?
Yes.
It's like taking a steering wheel out of the car. I mean, It's something that people now cannot fathom because they've been working with a keyboard forever. It's something they know.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen.
I think so, yeah. I think it's going to happen. I hear a lot of people about this subject that they say, okay, in development, in the upcoming years, probably we don't have a keyboard anymore. But we will see if it's actually going to happen because I know a lot of people always want to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will see.
One of the other things you said recently is that you made a podcast about yourself.
Oh, yes.
That sounded very strange. Can you maybe say a bit more about that?
Oh, yeah, it was really strange. You have in Copilot, it calls the Copilot Lab. You have an opportunity there to make a podcast around some subjects that you want to learn more about. So it generates a podcast there. Yeah, and if you are testing some things out, then you need to have some subject. So I thought, okay, let's find out what Copilot thinks about myself.
And probably everybody recognizes that, right? Everybody's probably gone into ChatGPT already and looked themselves up and other people they know.
I think so. Also on Google, right?
Yeah, of course,
what
you've done
kind
the
of
same.
pictures you have there,
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So I did it as well to generate a podcast about myself, and I was flabbergasted because there were so many things that I said in different kind of podcast as well, or on my website, or things that I shared on LinkedIn, and I was, what? Is people are seeing me in this kind of way, or is this the thing that I turn out online and make myself visible in this kind of area? So it was fun to do that. So I actually recommend that to do that for yourself as well.
And it's a lot easier now with AI for people to also make podcasts. So I don't know how long we'll be doing this here in this setting, right? I guess at some point we'll all be replaced by some form of AI.
This is a fun thing as well, because I was in Budapest a few months ago, and then I made a podcast with Google. And what I did was put all my ebooks in it. So I wrote a lot of ebooks. I put all the ebooks in that podcast product and asked to generate podcasts. And then you have like 2 people, American people, talking about that ebook that I wrote. And the fun thing is I published it online, and I was in Budapest, and I walked on the street and I saw a Tesla driving by, listening to my podcast.
No way.
And I was
You heard it. You heard it.
So
That's
I was
good. Yeah.
big smile.
Very
all
cool.
day there. But I shared that like months ago, and I think now everyone knows that you can do that, right? But it was like a little bit in the beginning that it wasn't a new feature, and people were saying, "What? Why are you doing this? Because like we cannot do this because so many people putting so much love in making podcasts, and we always need a human in this." So it was actually a little bit a joke or a fun thing to finding out or testing. So a lot of people were or liked it or were like, okay, this is something that is strange. We never want to have a podcast generated by AI. Yeah. But what you see now, for example, in Copilot, is that it's like a podcast around your PowerPoint presentation, or a podcast around your PDF that you had, or a podcast around your Teams meeting that you had, and you want to have a podcast around all the subjects that you have discussed with your customer. And for me, that works really nice. Yeah. Because when I listen that back, when I actually make, for example, a presentation for a customer, then it's really nice that I hear 2 voices discussing about that topic. Yeah,
I hadn't thought about it in that way, but I guess that's a very interesting take. Can you maybe give the listener, very briefly, because we'll get into it a lot more in the episode, but just a bit of background on your current role at Wortell? What kind of company is Wortell? Yeah. And why the role that you're doing now, you were telling me just before the episode, why that's so interesting and new, and kind of a new way to look at a certain position in a company.
Yeah, so I work at Wortell, Microsoft partner. 28 years already, Microsoft partner. And I started almost 3 years ago as a technical evangelist. So sharing stories.
What does that mean when you're a technical evangelist? What does that mean?
Yeah, so I was in the office of the CTO and responsible for what's new in the Microsoft environment, and how can we share that story outside the organization, and as well internally. What is the things that we really need to focusing on at that moment, and what kind of things we need to let go, because even as today, then as well, there were always so many new things and so many new developments. So that was my role, knowing what's new, what's coming, share outside where Wortell good in is, and alignment internally on that. After that, I had a new position. I was responsible for innovation and sales for our productivity group of people. Really nice to do as well. I learned a lot there.
And that's reselling Microsoft products, in effect.
So yeah, there are some different kind of topics there. It's of course reselling Microsoft products, but it was around like information management, governance, as well Copilot. So what we saw was that I was actually sharing so many things around Copilot, and all my appointments are with clients around Copilot, that I said to Danny, the CEO of Wortell, saying, okay, I cannot do it all. I really want to...
I need to focus.
And I really like Copilot because like we're beginning in the AI revolution, I think, and a lot of people going to start and finding out, but this gonna be like a big thing, and we need to be prepared for that. So give me the time, and I will deliver.
Because what is Copilot? Just very succinctly, what is that if people don't know what that is? If they've never heard of that?
It's like your personal assistant,
Okay.
probably something like that.
Yeah.
Your AI in Microsoft 365 on your different kind of applications.
Yeah.
And now we are in a world that is even more than that. It's your agentic AI workplace, where you can, for example, your processes and how you work as a team can put some agents in it to do work for you or for your team. So that's a lot of things happening at the moment in how we work and how we will work in the upcoming years, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a really nice place to be in at the moment.
And then at some point you became the chief for that product, basically.
So the fun thing is that I changed my role by myself. So I thought I put it on LinkedIn and I will see if someone says something about it. So I put it like Chief Copilot, and actually everyone was, oh, this is fun. We have a Chief Copilot. And I heard from other people as well.
You made up that name.
Yes,
you literally made it up yourself.
Just did it by myself.
Yeah.
Own it. So that was a funny thing, yes. And people say, oh, I also thought about that. And I also needed to do that. But I've never seen anyone else
ask
who did
for
it. Yeah. And at some point, my role changed. And Wortell say, okay, we put everywhere as well Chief Copilot in the job title. The fun thing is that I'm now really focusing on how can we influence the market around AI and Copilot. So I go into customers to do leadership conversations, a strategy around it, but as well working a lot together with Microsoft product teams to develop the products there and helping them with feedback, how we can make better products at the moment. I think it's really good. I don't need to say at the moment, but how we can even make it better for the future. And a lot of my time is sharing. A lot of the time is sharing how I use Copilot or what I see in the market, from strategy part on, for example, LinkedIn, as well YouTube and Instagram. And
I mean, you're very big on those channels.
Yeah.
I see you very often in my feed, right? I guess other people who might add you now to their LinkedIn will see you come by a lot as well. But you also do a lot of keynotes, you do a lot of presenting, you do a lot of, basically you're constantly in different formats talking about the latest trends around the topics that are important for Wortell.
Yes.
Yeah.
And somehow that's from community perspective, and somehow that's from Wortell and the customers right there. So it's a mix of being visible for the company and being visible, I think, in the world.
Yeah. Well, I think this really helps the listener understand what you're doing now.
Yeah.
But I mean, as always in these episodes, we kind of go back into, let's say, the history of the person sitting here in front of me. Mm-hmm. Can you maybe give me a bit of an insight or a snapshot into Femke growing up?
Yes.
I mean, you don't end up in technology all of a sudden. No. You have a very clear story around how you ended up there through something totally different. Yeah. But just you growing up as a young girl, what did that look like?
So I live in nearby Rotterdam. My father died very young when I was 9. So that was something that is actually made our family, I think, not different, but it was hard at that time for our family. So that made me as well, I think, as a person looking to the world in a different way than most of the people are doing.
What is the difference then? If something happens to you at such a young age, what changes?
A lot. I think for me, it's always that I wanna do it right for the people, for my children. Really wanna have that they have a good future. That kind of things. So I always want to work. I always want to work. I want to say not always, but I wanna do it right.
Yeah.
And I want to give them a great. I think everyone wants that, but when something happens and your father passed away on a really young age, it's my mother as well gets sick when I was really young. So my brothers and I worked all of us, since we are really young. So
You mature very quickly, right? And
yes,
you probably
so
take
we
on a lot
were
more
as
responsibility.
well really old when we were younger. Like
Yeah.
we were soon really responsible in the things that we did. So I worked since I was, I think, like 10 or 11. I started working.
What kind of jobs were that then?
Oh, different
Washing
kind of things.
dishes,
Oh, yes, so many things.
So many dishes.
Oh, I think I had like 60 different jobs.
60 different
Oh,
jobs.
yes. Always wanted to do something. But maybe it's good to mention as well that I was a photographer before, and that's something that I started when I was 20. So I think that's really early to have your own company in that. And that's an interesting thing because I really like to spotlight other people. So I love to bring them story there in. I love to bring them their story. So that's really interesting that it's come back now as well when I'm thinking about in technology and sharing other people their story and how they use it or that they want to make a step forward.
And funnily enough, you're very much in the spotlight yourself now.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, it started off as wanting to show the story of others.
True, but I think when I have my own company, I needed to do it as well.
Yeah.
So
You also needed to put yourself out there.
Yeah, because I wanted to have some work and so I did it as well. But then was in the hives time.
Hives,
Do you remember the banana?
Poke. You could poke. You could poke people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's around our age, right? In the podcast, so everybody will know hives.
Understand it.
Yeah,
The
everybody will know
banana
what we're talking about. Yeah, the dancing banana.
Yeah. Oh, funny. Yeah. So that was the platform that I was then really big at that moment. So and it was in the newspaper. There was a page. It calls the next big thing. And what I did there was every 2 weeks I shared my story, how I traveled the world, how I was at a company and made pictures there, or how I spotlighted other people. And I always ask other people as well if they can share their dreams. And it's funny because then I was like 20 and I do a little bit the same again. Now I'm like in the technology space.
And did people do that back then? Was that something normal for you to ask other people to share? And
yeah, they did.
They did.
Because actually a lot of them liked it really that they could get the spotlight as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never imagined that when I get out of as a photographer and get in of technology, that it's completely again doing these kind of things in a different kind of way. But I still want to spotlight others. I still want to make pictures. Most of them I make them by myself. That's a little bit awkward, but I still love to do like creativity.
Yeah.
But as well spotlighting nice stories. And I think that's my lessons learned as well. I wanted to travel at that moment. I was really young, and then I wanted to see more of the world. And I thought, okay, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm gonna do all of this. And then actually, I wanted to start with my family. So that was my turning point of stopping my company and saying, okay, I'm going to work in technology.
I hope you're enjoying this episode. Before we continue, a quick word about our partner and sponsor, Longevity. As we grow older, we all want to sustain peak performance, both mentally and physically. Longevity is a company that will do this for you by creating health insights and an action plan by which you can live your best life. So if you're interested, check the link below. But something happened before that. I saw in one of your blogs that in 2012, you won an award for the best young entrepreneur.
Yeah, and after like 3 months after, I stopped.
Yeah, and after 3 months you stopped. Pinnacle, and then good moment to move on to the next thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. I won an award for the best entrepreneur there, and it was really fun because Beto Tan was there as well. Who give that award.
Yeah.
It was a process as well because like they're going to look at your finances, they're going to look at all kind of bookings that you had and visibility that you have as well. And a lot of people are going to think about, or the jury goes to think about if you really need to win that award. Yeah, at that moment I won it. So it was really fun.
Were you surprised by that? Was that
Yes.
something you would have ever
Oh, no.
expected?
No. No, but it's, no, I never thought that it's going to happen. And yeah, I also, when I think about it, I'm stopped like 3 months after, it's also a little bit crazy, right? Like, now you're in, go.
Because anybody that'll look at your LinkedIn profile sees a very strange jump all of a sudden from owning your own photography business and being very active on Hives and doing that type of thing, and then all of a sudden moving into technology.
Yeah.
How does that work? How does that? How do you do that?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So I had a own studio where I did my work. It's not that nice as here, I need to say.
We pay a lot of rent here, so
I was really young, so I couldn't afford that. But there was as well a marketing company in that same building, and I did some work for one of the clients that we had separate. So that was really nice to work together. Yeah. And one of them was that technology company. So I said, "Can I please join your company because I want to start my family." I don't say that to him, I think, but it was in my mind. I need to have something.
I need a bit more consistency
close,
now,
not far away.
Yeah.
And when I choose technology, probably that goes so fast. I can learn as well,
grow in that space.
Grow in that space. But I started, as a marketeer, but there was already a marketeer, so there was not really actually a real job
switch
for me or so, something like that. So, but because he said, "Okay, it's Femke, you can come. We will see how we figure it out." And after 1 month, I say to him, "Okay, I cannot do two things. I cannot do my pictures stuff and doing working at Tradion." So I asked him, "Can I please come for like full time? Because I really want to focusing on one thing, doing really well." And not like whole weekends still working on my business. So he said yes, and I did like maybe 6 different roles in that company. I did the boss, his agenda, that kind of things. I did telephone things that come in. I like everything.
You did everything.
Inside sales.
Just like as a young kid, you had 60 jobs. You also had 60 jobs within Tradion.
Yes, it started there.
But it's funny because when I did some research on you, one of the things that you see through what you kind of read between the lines is there's always a moment where somebody sees something in you. There
are so many people,
and they take a gamble on you.
True.
And it somehow seems to...
I'm so thankful for so much.
It somehow seems to pay off.
True.
Really big for them, these people. I mean, what was it that Tradion, this owner of Tradion, saw? What do you think he saw in you that he decided to take a gamble on you?
Yeah, I think he know that I am a hard worker. I think.
But how do you show that? How do you demonstrate that? How does somebody know that about you?
He saw me walking and smiling and with all the people around, and so I think he totally understands that I'm fit there. Of course, technology and all it was a lot of men as well. So I think having a women there,
fresh perspective,
also
welcome.
Perspective.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was really knowing what he was doing at that moment. I don't know if he really thought that what happened now he was the beginning on that. So I'm really thankful that someone is giving you like the opportunity to come over and see what we can do and let you grow. So after I always have after 2 years, 1 or 2 years to say, okay, I want to do more. So that's also what happened at Tradion. So from marketing, then I go to making Power BI dashboard. business consultancy. I also was a SharePoint consultant in that time, to my own team on productivity and adoption. So different kind of roles all the time.
But it seems like you keep creating your own opportunities.
True.
For people who are listening now, if you had to give them 2 or 3 tips as to, it's very personal for you obviously, but for people, if they want to create this breakthrough and they want to do something different, or they want to do something different within their own company even, what would you recommend that they do, or how should they behave to also set themselves up for success?
I think it's good to zoom out and seeing what's happening in the company and where the opportunity is laying. I think it's good to invest in your own time as well. So always keep learning. A lot of people working from like 9 to 5. And I think I was always like one hour earlier, and then I'm doing some research or making some content. So I think making an extra step that you're willing to do, and I don't want to say you need to work from 9 to 5, you need to do more, but that's knowledge perspective and always keep learning, especially now in the AI time. It's really important. And I think a lot of people don't share actually that they want to grow. So the moment that I step in the office of Jan and say, okay, I want to be a team leader, and I actually thought probably he would love something like that, but he actually say, okay, we're going to make it happen. I give you that job.
A lot of people probably don't do that, right? They
Yes.
want to be team leader, and they recognize that they want to do something different.
We're waiting for someone saying,
but they're waiting for someone to offer it, and maybe that doesn't happen. And some people feel imposter syndrome, like they don't think that they actually deserve it or can do it.
Yeah.
Is that something that you don't have, or do you also have that and you need to kind of go through a barrier there?
I also have that, yeah, of course. But I also think about, okay, how can I make the next steps where I really want to go? But yes, I also have imposter syndrome, and I didn't actually thought in 2 years that I go to Jan and ask him for that kind of role. But when I see different things in the organization changing, then of course you need to step in and say, okay, this is what I want. And I see opportunity there. And I think Microsoft is growing in that area. So we need to have someone there as well.
And at a certain point, you made the jump to Wortell.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, that was not easy, I need to say, because I really liked Radion as a company, and we were a really good fit for many years. But in the beginning, I had a conversation with Maarten Goed. I saw him
He's one of the co-founders or one of the owners of Wortell?
The CTO of Wortell, and I saw him in the Microsoft office. And one of the things that I always really good in is when I see something and I recognize that person, I always walk to and say, "Hey, I know you from LinkedIn or something like that." And I just want to say hi. That's what I actually do a lot. But he was in a call at that moment, so I sent him on. It's X now, but on Twitter at that moment, I sent him a message and I say, okay, I'm sitting in front of you, but I just want to say hi, and it's stupid to say nothing.
You were in the same room with him and you sent him a message on X. Okay.
And somehow that's what I always do. Like I just, when I see something, I just send a message and say, okay, hi,
you go after it.
Yeah. So he messaged me back, but of course, I was already at home, and since then I started a little bit about, okay, I want to speak more, I want to develop myself in that. So he asked me to join Expert Life and help there organizing Expert Life, and that was like 1 year before I step over to Wortell. The other side, then he asked a few times to come over and have a cup of coffee together. And I always was, I'm sitting chill. This is right. This is a good moment to not stepping out because I have a nice position. But at the end, I thought, okay, he's asking a lot now. Maybe I just need to take it. Yeah, so I did. And one of the things he was asking is that he said, okay, I see so many potential. And that's what he said. And he said, we need someone who share what we do. Think about it, because I think this can be a really good fit for you. And he actually says, think about how you want your role. And I was, okay. You are
a blank check,
yeah,
basically.
You are a crazy
you
person.
You can invent your own role within the company. Is that?
Yes, of course, with some
handrails, with some
yes.
guardrails.
But yes, he actually says that he wants to be more visible in the things that he always was visible in. But yeah, that there probably a fit is with Wortell. And I was thinking, okay, what are you asking? Right? And later on, I had a WhatsApp with Maarten and I say, okay, this happens, and of course he knows that. So we sit together and then we made our own role. So that was, I think, really nice that you can do that and say, okay, this is what I want. I think this is something that I'm really good in. And it comes back until now that they totally understand where my capabilities are.
Where your passion is, what
passion
you're good
is,
at,
and
where you shine.
Yes, and at this moment they let me just do that as well. So I think that's amazing that they saw that already when I was at Tradion and give me the opportunity 3 years ago. Then give me the opportunity to lead a team again as well, and then now somehow back in this influence role a little bit, I need to say. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we were talking about it just before the episode started. I saw a post this morning on LinkedIn where somebody was talking about a new role within organizations called the corporate influencer.
Yeah.
And this person was saying that this role might be the biggest shift in brand marketing that has happened in decades. And when I saw that, I immediately thought of you.
Yeah.
Because you are very visible on LinkedIn, right? You post a lot on LinkedIn on a lot of different channels, almost every day. How did you start doing that? Where did that start? I can imagine that a lot of people want to do something about their personal brand, want to be visible online. But where do you start if you want to do something with that? What do you share? How do you do that?
First of all, I think it's really important to think about, in the world of AI at the moment, so many people sharing things. So that personal branding is really something that I think is going to be bigger the upcoming time, because sharing from your personal perspective and make it, again, more human is what we all need. So I think that's one of the things why this works so well.
But do you think everybody should start sharing things via online channels, or?
I think a lot of people just generate things that is AI generated. And of course, I also use AI for my content, but I think people will recognize when it's more human.
When it's real or not.
And when it's a picture or when it's a video instead of an AI generated content. Or a picture or something from AI. I don't read that at all. And then the other thing is, when companies are sharing their updates on LinkedIn, with personal LinkedIn, it's 8 times more visible than on LinkedIn
for the company.
So we really want to have more people in the organization who are visible and telling their story, because then it's reached way higher and people totally understand as well what the problem is, or more the authentic story of the person himself. So that's really important. And how can you start? I think everyone can start, but it's something that is in your brain. We talked about it earlier as well. Something in your brain that is really scared to put yourself out and sharing your story.
Why do you think people are scared? Are they worried about what other people might think, or they don't think they have a good story to tell, or they don't know what to say? All of the above.
Yeah, I think all of that. I think everyone has a story to tell. It doesn't matter what. There is always something in it that other people can learn from. But I love to share and I'm really thinking about it every day. How can I do that this week or the week after? But I think it's a combination of your personal story, a combination of something from the company, because you need to also bring something from the company in it. You can highlight other people as well. So you need to make a combination of all of that in your week. So it's not only the Femke show, and it's not only the Wortell show, and it's also spotlighting other people or other people who have their knowledge and sharing that. Yeah, when you bring that all together, I think then you have the real magic. And when you're thinking about personal branding, when you think about AI, and when you have like community perspective, when you all bring that together, I always say then you have impact. Because like people going to talk about you, going to share your things, you share other things, so you lift each other up, and I think that's really important. And for example, when I make like a podcast or I do something like a session, I always put the transcript on, put that in AI, and think about, okay, what is the upcoming things that I get out? What is the best things that are discussed there? And where can I share that in my channels as well?
So you're basically using AI to leverage the material you already have and to disperse it amongst different channels or different formats or different,
And I think that's interesting that everyone can do that, right? But it needs to be as well in your mindset to think a few times ahead about, okay, what is the best channel? What is the best time? What is the best, how can I put everything out of it? What kind of questions do I need to ask to get best results as well?
You were recently on a list.
Yeah.
It's making you laugh. But you're recently on a list, the most influential woman in tech in the Netherlands, soon to be the world, or was it only the Netherlands, or was it was it bigger than that? Yeah, something to be proud of, right?
Yeah, true. Number one in the Netherlands, it was women in tech. Yes.
Does that feel?
With men and women, it was always men.
Yeah.
More influences.
Does that feel strange? Is that?
Yes, it feels strange, and also it's like 15 in worldwide of like women in tech. So I think that's crazy. Yeah, it's really crazy. It feels strange. Don't feel normal as well. It feels American as well, a little bit like ooh. But it's good to see that kind of things, and I love it when people are sharing and saying okay, and say thank you as well. I think we all work really hard, and seeing yourself on that kind of list is something that really makes you proud. Wortell sent me a cake. And,
you got a cake? Yeah. Whoa!
For the most the influenced women in tech.
Well, one of the things you recently said, is and
some research.
I thought it was but I thought it was a very powerful quote. You said, "Success isn't a coincidence. It's the result of focus, mindset, and consistent effort." I mean, I think that very much relates to everything that you've been saying.
Yeah, that's true.
So you don't end up on that list.
No. Yeah, and I need to say, now I know that I'm on that list, I analyze all the data behind it. And in the beginning, it was not from me, especially a goal to say, okay, I want to be on that list.
No.
But yeah, now I get everything out of it. For example, I know that like every week, 1,000 people are tagging me in their message. And that's really interesting to see because it helps that list, but it's not the goal. It's more that I know that 1,000 people using my content or using the things that I share, that it helps them as well.
But it's also great, right? Because you're very inspiring towards a lot of women that, you know, in the Women for Tech and the other things that you do.
Yeah, that's a funny thing as well. When we talk about like the women in Rockstar. Yeah. I was in San Francisco. There go my stories about traveling. I was in San Francisco and I was nominated as Women in Cybersecurity Award. So went to San Francisco for that award. I didn't win, but then I was back in the airplane. I was thinking we're missing something. We having some communities for women who want to start in tech, but don't know where to start. But we have as well a lot of women who are already in the field. also want to start a website or content or want to do a podcast for the first time. But you know how it is. It's really like starting something new. It's not something that you wanted to, what is easy. And when you have people around you who have the same interests, you can do it together. Why doing everything for yourself? So then I started making a picture of myself in the airplane, and I put it on LinkedIn. I'm going to start Rockstar Women in AI. And I flew in, and when I was back in Amsterdam, I have more than 300 people who joined the community, because especially a lot of people recognize that they want to do more, don't know where to start. So
it blew up. You hadn't expected it.
True, yeah. And then is the problem, mostly for me, is, okay, how can I manage this? Because again, I create something.
Yeah. You spread yourself too thin.
And then it's like, okay, now I need to have sessions. We need to help them with the website and the blog text. And now, so then I'm going to think, okay, how can I measure it? And how can I bring people in this as well who can help there? Because this is something in a good spot to grow.
And I mean, people always see only what they see on these channels, right? And then your name is on a list all of a sudden. But I mean, that takes a lot of hard work. That also means concessions in certain areas.
True.
You're on a plane a lot. You're flying out, speaking at events. You're all over the world. You also have a family at home.
True.
How do you look at that part of your life now, and where do you see that going?
Yeah. It gives me so many energy to do all this kind of things. So I know I need this as well, like going sometimes, flying out and doing a session. But yeah, a lot of people don't see that I'm most of the time flying in the morning, flying out in the evening, because the next day there is football, something like that, soccer. I need to be there.
Yeah.
And I think people always see the
highlights.
Yes. So I think that is something that's happening. And the other thing is, for example, my colleagues go to Ignite for a week. I go for 4 days. Like that kind of things. I always...
So you prioritize your time better to also spend it in areas where...
Yeah, and I have a lot of people around me who are helping and supporting and say, okay, we know, Femke, you glow when you do this kind of thing, so we support
Makes you happy.
And my kids also enjoy, not that I'm away, but they also say, like, I bring them as well to sometimes to a conference, so that they understand how it is to be at a conference, for example. They think it's gaming and eating candy, of course, but that is the thing that I do. But I love to bring them as well, I try to do like once a month something, and not more than that, because otherwise it's crazy to be like weeks away. But now I need to say I go to Dubai in 2 weeks and I go to San Francisco in 3 weeks.
All over the place.
I try to...
But are you going to do this a lot longer? Do you see yourself traveling this much for the next 10 years? I mean, where are you? What is Femke's... I mean, you're enjoying this now, but what's the bigger picture? What's the goal?
Yeah, good question. Of course, I also wanna do a lot in the Netherlands. So that's sometimes a little bit harder, I think, to do something in the Netherlands than on other places, because I think here in the Netherlands we are more like take care.
Make sure you don't stick your head too high above the
so I try,
above the field.
That. So I try to do more in the Netherlands, so I doesn't have to go away all the time. But yes, I also really like to the international way. I also like to meet other people worldwide, and also learning from other cultures and that kind of things. But sometimes I'm thinking, okay, I'm only in the taxi or the Uber and doing my session, and then I'm going back as well. That happens. And where I see myself in the upcoming like 5 or 10 years or something like that, I definitely going to travel. I hope I can travel with my children or something like that in the future. That
different type of travel.
Well.
You can bring them along.
And also better travel for myself.
We could do a whole nother episode. Unfortunately, we don't have the time for it, but maybe we need to bring you back later on during the show to talk about, of course, AI and what you do with companies, all the challenges they have. And I mean, so we could have filled a whole nother episode. But I mean, in kind of closing, we always have a tradition where we let the guest listen to a voice message from someone in their network.
Okay.
So we're going to get to that. But before we get to that, I didn't know about your father passing away at a very young age. So that was a surprise for me. I always ask people in the episodes, if you could go back to your future self and you could say something to yourself, what would you say? And I think in this case, it would also be kind of nice to throw in the element of your father, of course, and him passing away.
Yeah.
If you could go back to that time when you were that young and your father was still around, and you had a discussion with your father about yourself, what you had for plans in life, and what your life turned out to be. What do you think he would have said to you, and how would that have been?
I think he would said, and I think I also feel that you don't need to be scared about other people or just doing what you like, that's the most important thing to do. I think that, and maybe work is not everything. But it's,
You think he would have said that? Do you think he would have told you to make sure
he was a hard worker.
He was a very hard worker.
He was a very hard worker.
So you don't have it from a stranger. You know where it comes from. You know where it comes from.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's in the family. Yeah. But I think as well, he would say, enjoy everything in life around it as well. But do the things you like. I think that's the most important.
You think he would have been proud now? Do you think he's sometimes looking over your shoulder and proud of what you've achieved?
I think so. And I'm proud at him as well. So I think that's
the case.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, we have a message for you from somebody in your network.
Cool.
We need to give you the headphones for it.
And then you're going to look at my face, how I react.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's connected. So we're going to go to the message.
Okay.
I'll just ask you to listen and then give a quick response after on what you heard.
Hi Femke, this is Danny. So a couple of years ago, you were still working at Tradion. And somehow when you were at conferences or at Microsoft, I always used to notice you. You were a presence in the room. You weren't big on stage at that moment, but somehow Maarten, our colleague, and I noticed you and noticed the energy that you brought to the room. And we told each other that you would be awesome within our organization and be an evangelist around all the stuff that we do. So after a few discussions, you decided to join our company and become evangelist for at that moment productivity solutions. And really soon you morphed into a Copilot evangelist. And right now you are on stage always, basically presenting our company, presenting all the great stuff that we do and all the good stuff that we bring to our customers. So Femke, I really love your work. I love the energy that you bring. I love that you're not only on a Dutch stage, but basically on an international stage as well. And I really look forward to hearing this podcast. See you soon.
So sweet. And the same story. Yeah.
And who was that? Who was it?
Danny. Yeah, the CEO of Wortell. It's funny. Yeah, he's sharing the same story that I actually earlier shared.
Good,
so
good that those two are the same.
He's sharing how we met, and that's he's also proud. So I think that's nice to hear, and that he's that he'd like that I also do the international stage as well.
Yeah, and again, he said something around recognizing something in you.
Yeah.
That I think is a throughput in the conversation where a lot of people seem to recognize things in you, and then you step up and you make it happen.
We will see what's next.
We will see what's next. So we're very curious what's next.
Come on, Danny.
Yeah.
Funny.
It's time to create another opportunity.
No, this is the dream job now.
This is the dream job now. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, in closing out, some of the things that I took out of this conversation, was one around what people can do in their own life and in their own organization. You talked about zooming out, looking at what happens in your organization, and then jumping on an opportunity if you see something and actually proactively going after it.
Sure.
Right? Making it happen yourself. You said something about keep learning, to stay curious and hungry, and talking about coming into the office an hour earlier. So basically putting in the hours, working hard to make sure that you're constantly learning and then evolving in that space.
Sure.
So I think that was very special. And I like the fact that you said, you are where you are now, but it also started with Femke posting things and just getting her story out there.
True.
And the fact that everybody has a story to tell. So if people are open to it, they should just give it a go.
Sure.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, great. Yeah, true. Actually, yeah, all good points. Yeah.
And I wanted to wish you a lot of luck with the Wortell event that you have going on tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
You're as always, you're going to be on stage, right?
Yes,
Talking 3 times.
Yeah.
So a full day, but I want to wish you a lot of luck in this role with your family, all the great things that are ahead for you.
Thanks.
And we are going to follow you with a lot of curiosity to see where this goes.
Thank you so much.
So thanks a lot for your time.
You're welcome.